You know, it's almost Halloween, and it being almost Halloween is crazy because it's been a fast month already. But around almost every October, I watch this movie. And this was a requested review. This was requested by my good friend Colton. Colton the guy, he has a great YouTube channel. If you're into wrestling, WWE, check out his channel. Um, I've been on a few of his streams. We've discussed pay-per-views and wrestling events and stuff. I'll be leaving a link to his channel in the description below. Thank you so much for this request, my friend. Because they're talking about 13 Ghosts. This is the 2001 remake. I believe the original movie, I want to say it had Vincent Price in it. Or, I don't know, did it have Vincent Price in it? I can't remember. But I know this was a remake of the original 13 Ghosts, which I haven't seen that. Just like I haven't seen the original The Blob or the original The Thing from Another World. But 13 Ghosts, man, this is so cool because... And what's awesome is I think this is the same DVD. I've had this DVD for, oh my god, since I was real young. I've had this DVD. I think this is the same DVD. If it's not, it's the exact same edition I used to have. But I believe this is the same DVD. But I remember being a kid, man, and loving this movie, especially around October. Now, I couldn't watch the real violent stuff in the movie, and I couldn't watch, of course, the hot naked ghost right there, the chick ghost. She's pretty hot, but couldn't watch those as a kid. Had to kind of get the old cuff over the eye thing, but I did watch it a lot as a kid because it was just such a cool idea. Until this day, I still think it's a crazy and cool idea. This is a 2001. I think it's a 5.6 on IMDb by Steve Beck. And Steve Beck, I know he made one other movie, really enough for the same company. This company is Dark Castle, I believe is the company. Kind of that early 2000s company that made, I think, like 3 or 4 movies, and then they kind of faded out of existence. But what I love about their company is they made very unique films, like that all had this interesting look to their movies. Even, I'm not a big fan of Ghost Ship, which I know that Steve Beck also made that movie. I'm not a big fan of Ghost Ship, but I will say that movie has an interesting look to it. And that's the same with this movie. Like, this is the look in movies that I miss, where it's got a hint of MTV, but also just a really neat environment and atmosphere to it that is very appealing to look at. Just a beautiful looking movie. And yeah, I actually, this isn't even just nostalgia. I still love this movie to this day. I love the cast of this movie. I love the idea of the movie. I love the setting of the movie. The 13 ghosts themselves, I thought were all cool and unique and designed very well. It's got practical effects. There's some CGI here and there. It doesn't hold up very well. That's maybe my only issue. But the practical effects hold up. And you got a lot of gore in this movie. But yeah, I love 13 Ghosts. That's why I said I want to say thank you so much to Colt for recommending me to review this movie, because this was one of my favorite movies to watch around October. And it still is to this day. Just a really cool ghost movie. I think that's what it is. It's a very cool ghost movie with a lot of very interesting, unique things to it. And it has this, like I said, this, like, that early 2000s, I love, because the 90s look, I'm not a big fan of. Stuff like Halloween H2O, Scream 2, I'm not the biggest fan of. I Know You Did Last Summer was okay. Urban Legend was decent. I'm not a really big fan of the 90s, but that 2000s, early 2000s, as soon as 2000 hit, I just loved that look for movies. And it's got a bit of an MTV sci-fi look to it, mixed with a really cool, dark, gloomy atmosphere. And I think it blends beautifully. And the story is classic. I mean, it's got a great story to it. I mean, it opens up with Matthew Lillard, he's in this movie. He's one of the leads, and he's this guy who can touch things and sense the presence of spirits and learn their past. Kind of a psychic guy. And he's helping this character collect his ghosts, and he's trying to collect the 13th ghost. And they capture the 13th ghost, which I believe is is it the Juggernaut? I want to say it's the Juggernaut. It's the 13th. Well, the 12th ghost is the Juggernaut, I believe. But they're capturing this ghost, and one of the guys dies. He ends up dying, and he was a rich millionaire who owned this house. And the house has been passed down to, I believe, his nephew, which is played by Tony Shalhoub, which I know he's been in plenty of things as far as TV and films go. He's a very accomplished actor. Him and his kids, they go there. He has a past where his wife had died in a fire, and they moved to this house. They're all still grieving, and they're wondering, okay, what was this guy all about? You know, he's rich, he's got everything is made out of glass. And I love that look for the house, just the glass with the spells on them. It just is so cool looking to me, very visually appealing. And they get there and they realize they're part of this giant scheme to get the 13th ghost, which is meant to be, you find out our lead character, he's meant to be the 13th ghost. And they go from room to room, floor to floor, trying to get out of this place. And Matthew Lillard's there. They all get trapped in there. He has to figure out ways for them to get out of there. There's not a whole lot of death scenes in this movie. Like, there's very few, but the ones you do see are pretty brutal and gory and violent. And it's them trying to get out of this house. There are these glasses they have to wear to see the ghosts, which I always thought was really awesome. Just something that really carried over from that time period, because back then, I think they even had that for the original 13 Ghosts, was you wear these glasses, you can see the ghosts. That's a cool idea, and it aged so well in this movie to me. Some call this movie cheesy, they call it goofy, they call it MTV. I just call it this really fun, energetic, very slick, really well-made ghost movie. And I think it nails a lot of things. Like I said, as far as just the look of the movie, the music of the movie, Matthew Lillard's performance in this film, the lead character I thought was played well by Tony Shalhoub, and he did a great job. The kid was a good actor. The other characters I like his daughter. She's a little whiny, but I thought she wasn't a horrible character. A lot of people hate the comedic relief character in this movie. I want to get her name real quick. She's just kind of there for comedic relief. I thought she wasn't bad. I thought she was pretty fun in this movie. I think it was the Maggie character. I thought she wasn't a bad actress, and she provided comedic relief. I thought it was funny, and I thought her character was still likable and funny and everything. I didn't really see anything wrong with that. But they meet different ghosts in this house. You have, the Juggernaut. You have the mother and son ghosts. The firstborn son, the torso, aka the gambler, the bound woman, the withered lover, the torn prince, the angry princess, the pilgrimess, the great child, the dire mother, the hammer, the jackal, which was always my favorite as a kid, was the jackal, and the Juggernaut. And it's just basically kind of a room-to-room, getting from A to B type movie. And it's just so fast-paced, it's real short, really entertaining. The acting, maybe at certain points, could get a little dodgy, I'll give you that. Some of the special effects don't hold up like the CGI. But I think it looks great. I think it has a good energy to it. It's definitely my favorite. I'd say this and House on Haunted Hill are my two favorite Dark Castle movies. I've seen this, I've seen that. I have the sequel to House on Haunted Hill, but I haven't watched it yet. And then I watched Ghost Ship a long time ago, and I was not a fan of it at all. I did not like Ghost Ship, but Um, yeah, 13 Ghosts is a great movie. I mean, cool poster. It's a very short film. The characters aren't too bad. It's directed very well. It's acted very well. It's a very straightforward story. I like at the end of the movie that our lead gets to have a rise up and, defeat the villain. I will also maybe give you the twist. Wasn't really much, because you find out that the twist that the rich uncle wasn't really dead. He was just setting everything up for our lead to become the 13th Ghost, which it wasn't really much of a twist, and I didn't really care for the twist. So there are a few things that maybe go like, but overall, I love this movie to death. I think it's so fun. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a blast. It's short. It's a short movie. It's fast-paced. It's bloody. I love the certain designs of the ghosts. Like the Jackal's always been my favorite. The Juggernaut, the Hammer, the kid ghost I always thought was a little creepy. The mom burn victim ghost. I thought she was pretty creepy design ghost. Really, they're all pretty creepy looking, but the Jackal's always been the one that kind of scared me as a kid. And I always thought it was a really cool makeup and design of it. But yeah, this movie is really good. Again, thank you so much, Colt, for recommending and requesting this video. I love it, man. And I know he's a really big fan of this movie too, so we're both on the same page with it, man. It's a fun, great time. And yeah, I love this movie to death. So anyways, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10, 13 Ghosts remake. What's your guys' thoughts on it? Some call it goofy, some call it lame. I call it fun as hell. And I call it a great movie. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my review on 13 Ghosts. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a popcorn ghost movie. Really fast-paced and really 2000s. I love that. But anyways, thanks so much for watching the review. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later. And Colt, thanks for the request. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a good night. The Explorer 4 is out. Peace.